This is Jayabhat sir, faculty in charge of MMS. He teaches entrepreneurship and management things to MMS.
Marketing, operations and entrepreneurship.
That's great sir. So nice to have you here. And I would like to ask you a few questions regarding entrepreneurship. And should I start?
Yes, please go ahead.
So sir, do you think this is the right time to start for student for working as a startup?
In fact, I will say that now is the best time that we ever had for entrepreneurial startups. There was a time when people typically did not think of starting their businesses till people were into their late 40s and 50s, and that's when they started thinking of entrepreneurship. But today, if you go to see Flipkart, Snapdeal, Facebook, everybody, they just all students fresh out of college they started. At the same time, the government has been playing such an important role that they want entrepreneurship to come up. Here I would just quote Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam that the world is not short of job seekers, the world is short of job givers. In such a case, I will say this is the best time to get started on this.
Yeah. So sir, as you work in college in entrepreneurship cell, so what are the events college conduct to nurture this entrepreneurship?
Typically we have about 4 to 5 events which we conduct without fail in the college. We have either basics of entrepreneurship, we have workshops on entrepreneurship, and then we get some guest speakers who are entrepreneurs to come and motivate the students. And then we've also got games like pitch please and wearing the investors hats, those kinds of games where the students get to learn as to how they should pitch their ideas. And then we also had a college startup program where we showed documentaries of various companies which were actually incorporated on campus. So, what can happen on the campus of Harvard and MIT, why can't it happen in VIT? If it happens in MIT, why not VIT?
Yeah, actually that's great, sir. So, do you think that there is a scope for improvement in this?
Yes, the scope for improvement is very vast because our students have started their businesses, no doubt. A lot of students have been coming up to me with ideas, but then those ideas they come up to me and then they stop there. Now then, after a year or so, you ask him, what happened? When are you taking it forward? He says, no sir, right now I'm looking for a job. Okay, take it your way. So we need to build a culture of entrepreneurship here. Like so many institutes where so many of the companies have got started in IITs and IIM. It's because there's a culture of entrepreneurship. We need to bring about a culture of entrepreneurship. Now here we've got students coming in from middle class Maharashtrian and South Indian backgrounds where they are trained to think that they just need to be, just take up a job and a steady income, etc., etc.
Yeah. So sir, like when you said, what are the things we need to do to grab students' attention to entrepreneurship?
First of all, we need to change the students' mindset. As I said earlier, that we need to change the culture. Now, what is happening is we find it very difficult at the moment to change the students' mindset because there are students who have got brilliant ideas with them, but they themselves have been trained to think not to take it forward. They have been trained to think that nothing doing, take up a job first. Now, you can't blame the parents because parents want to see their students who become engineers to immediately take up a job, a stable income, get married. But my point is, and students don't want to take risks. But the question is, if you will not take a risk now, then when will you take it? When you are in your 40s, when you are 50s, when you get married, when you got 2 kids, the chances of risking goes down even more. Now is the time when you don't have a liability, and even if you fail, what difference does it make? You still have an engineering degree to fall back upon, you still can go back for a job. Companies will accept you.
Yeah, sure, sir. So if someone is taking risk and getting into it, so would you advise him or her to follow the traditional way, like making the business model canvas and then go accordingly, or just get into it and explore yourself?
You see, traditional way has always been that people have been taking experiences, but then when people start taking experiences, then they start their businesses when they are into their 30s, in their 40s, way later. And now just imagine, now you have an idea, if you wait for the next 10 years on the grounds of taking an experience, somebody else might have a similar idea and just take it forward. You would just be left saying that actually it was my idea, but then well. As Dhirubhai Ambani said, that think big, think positive, but act fast because ideas are no one's monopoly. In such a case, if you have an idea and if you go to see Flipkart, Snapdeal, all of these companies which have been working, what they have been doing is what experience? They never had any experience. They just got started. It's just that fire in the belly, that passion, take it forward.
Sure, sir. So, should one start with small scale business at this stage, or one should go to VCs for seed funding and other things and start big?
Here I will quote Narayan Murthy, the founder of Infosys. He said that think big, but don't hesitate to start small. Infosys was started in a garage. So was Wipro, I believe. So here, in such a case, it's perfectly alright to get started small. Students have been coming to me that we have this, we want to do this. People come to me, students with 4 to 5 ideas, and you have to streamline now, which is the first one. Now, if you ask me what I want to do, I want to do this, I want to do that. You have to streamline it. Everything will be possible, but everything will not be possible at the same time. So I think it is always better that you start small. That will help you get some experience, some insights into what you want to do and how you want to take it forward. And also, a venture capitalist may be slightly hesitant into just investing on a new idea. But if he sees that that idea has already started taking seed, that's when, if I see you doing a business, okay, I don't mind giving you money then. But if you just come and walk up to me, I have an idea, I'm not too sure as an investor. So.
Sure, sir. So, what are the things which one should keep in mind if he's starting entrepreneur startup in technical background, like electronic stuff, because that needs a lot many machineries to start up with. So, what are the things one should keep in mind?
The basic thing in entrepreneurship to be kept in mind is, am I helping mankind? Am I helping humanity? I come up with something, but is it going to be useful to humanity? If it is going to be useful to humanity, the amount of time he has saved for thousands of people around the world. Similarly, any other company. Now there are so many IIT startups, IIM startups who are actually generating solar energies. Now that's really helping the people. You generate solar energies through the solar cells, supply electricity. You are reducing the load on the government supplies, and at the same time you are helping people to become self-sufficient. So any tech startup or a non-tech startup, it has to be for, as J.R.D. Tata had said, that business has a larger purpose. Business is not just about making money. As the Tatas, they have always said that we do not run our companies to make profit. We make profit to run our companies. You get the point? So business will have to be towards that, and it has to be. And yes, you have to get rich as well. The entrepreneur has to get rich, no two ways about it. But it has to be that I get rich and along with me so many others get rich without spoiling the environment, without someone else getting poorer, I mean.
Yeah, sure, sir. So I'm sure that students at VIT and other colleges will take this and will surely start new and really good help in humanity, and affordable excellence is what we need basically. Okay. So we'll do that for sure, and thank you sir for your time.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good afternoon everyone. This is Anand Parikar sir, Management Technical Activities. Sir, we want to ask you a few questions regarding entrepreneurship background in our college, and so I'll ask a few questions to you. And
sure.
So, sir, can I start?
Yeah, sure.
So, do you think this is right time for students to start on working on the startups? If one have idea, so do you think this is the right time to start?
Definitely, because one has to think about the idea, gestate it, do something about it, plan about it. So, if one thinks one has an entrepreneur idea, then he should immediately give it some shape, and earlier the better. When one is a student, he has a very dynamic view of the whole situation. He can see things from a certain perspective. As you grow older, sometimes your risk taking ability goes down. So definitely yes, he should give it a thought. He may keep aside the idea for some time if he feels that he would like to get certain experience and then launch the idea. But giving it a thought, definitely he should do it.
Sure. So, sir, like, what are the events that college should conduct to nurture this entrepreneurship background in college?
So, one thing that happens everywhere is, let's say, a businessman competition. So, I feel like we could do a businessman competition, but we must go beyond that. What we should do is give students the platform to finish off their business plans and then to actually present it in front of industry people who could be, let's say, technical experts or seed funding organizations, get their take on what students' ideas are, so that students get a realistic feel. It shouldn't become like a fun activity or a theoretical exercise that students write a business plan and they are given an award and after that they forget about it. That should not happen. What they should do is they should present it in front of someone so that they get a meaningful feedback on whatever their business plan was.
Yeah, sure, sir. So as you mentioned that there, after a few years, the risk-taking ability reduces. So like, if someone is taking risk right now and putting money in it, so like, what is your advice to him or her? Like, follow the traditional way, like make the business model canvas, then do certain steps and then get into it, or just get into it and then get the exposure of the things. So like, what is your thought on it?
No, just simply diving into a certain idea and then discovering what can happen could be a slightly rough way. I mean, if someone is very adventurous and brave, he can try that. But otherwise, planning definitely helps. And I mean, this is from my own experience. You know that in the second half, I'm running my own company. So what I feel is that wherever I did not plan, I have suffered. So I wouldn't want any student to go through that phase. And on the other hand, you cannot plan everything. See, entrepreneurship is not like a job where you wait for all the green lights to turn on and then you take off. You have to go with certain orange lights, certain red lights. You have to start your plane and make it take off the ground, you know. So, but that doesn't mean that nothing is worked out. You just get into a situation and then you say that, okay, this happened to me today, that happened to me tomorrow, therefore I'll do this. No. Better you do some exercise, especially on the financial side, as to where your initial capital will come from, what is your burnout rate, and then you should start off on on whichever tasks you've planned for. You should have a regular check mechanism that, let's say you plan task A, how will you evaluate with what quality task A has completed, then B, C, continue like that. Keep a steady momentum, things will fall in place.
Sure, sir. So like, initially for student to get into the startups, like there are two things what he can do is like, he can start in small scale business and then let that go big. Or else what he can do is just right now, if idea is well validated, he can go to VC for seed funding and everything. So like, what is advisable at the initial stage?
So your second part where you said that, you know, if it is a well verified idea, then you should go to a VC. Question is, what is a well verified idea? Because if you're doing something as an entrepreneur, I strongly believe that you should do something which is new, different, innovative in nature, right? So given this, it's very unlikely that your idea has been 100% verified. If it has been 100% verified, then probably someone is already doing it. Then your role as a startup in that particular solution is questionable. So VCs don't want to see something that is 100% verified. That is the wrong assumption. What they want to see is that you believe in your idea. Is the idea feasible? And of course, from a VC point of view, will they get their returns back? So both approaches are fine. It's just that I would rather stress on the innovation angle.
Okay, so yeah. So sir, basic problem with students is they get so many ideas and they just don't know how to validate that idea.
Okay.
Like, will that be good in the market? Yeah. So sir, like this is question for so many students and they get so many ideas, but they just don't know how to validate that idea.
Correct.
Will that be sufficient, good enough for the market which currently going on? So like, what is your suggestion on this?
So yeah, especially as engineering students, you know, we get a lot of ideas because we are in that technology space, so to say. So one thing is to follow certain templates to prepare a business plan. A business plan does the first level of validation because certain questions that are especially tough to answer. For example, where will your first round of revenues come in from? Such questions are asked in your business plan. So that itself is a validation, right? And another way of validating your idea is to keep talking to your peers, to talking to people who themselves are entrepreneurs, or talking to the relevant people. When you interact with them, they directly or indirectly give you an idea whether your business idea is likely to take off or not, right? So you get enough hints actually if you are very careful in listening. You talk less and you listen more. You will very likely get a feedback as to in which direction your idea is. But you need to be in the right direction. For example, let's say you come up with an idea which is in the manufacturing space, and you go to a typical VC or a typical group, innovation group, where they are used to ideas in, let's say, IT. They don't understand where you're coming from. So then what happens is that there is a mismatch and they may end up discouraging you. Vice versa, if you go with an idea from the IT space to an IT innovators forum or group, there they may over encourage your idea, thinking that, oh look, this is the next wave that is going to happen. So, but these things cannot be planned that much. It's best to start doing these things. Once you get an idea, start talking to people. You will get a feedback.
Sure. So, sir, what is your advice to the students in VIT and other colleges to start the startup? Like, what is your thought on it? Like, should they start right now? And if so, what are the things they should keep in mind?
So, first thing is that if you are doing it as an engineer, remember that there are no shortcuts to success in the technology space. Core engineering definitely matters. These days, people feel that they can just bypass their core technical skills and somehow make a big success story. That will not happen. They must definitely keep in mind the innovation angle, because I have taken a module for third year students in EXTC and last year, and on entrepreneurship. And what I realized is that people confuse selling and entrepreneurship. They feel that if you can sell something, it means entrepreneurship. It's not so. Entrepreneurship is, first thing, managing the situation. No matter what situation you are in, you are supposed to manage it. And the second thing, which is probably more important, is if you have something that is new, different, a viable solution that is new and different, in which case most of the other things fall in place. If you have a good idea, it's viable, it's new, it's really innovative, and people don't mind funding you, because earlier it was the case that funding was a big question mark. Today, if you have a good idea, there are people who would want to venture and go out and fund you also.
Sure, sir. So thank you very much for your precious time.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. It really helped all the students out here. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
So we will be interviewing her and we'll be asking her a few questions based on entrepreneurship. Okay ma'am, so my first question, do you think it is right time for a student to start with a startup?
Yes, I feel every time is the right time for a startup. We need not wait for exactly right time, we should just venture. But today we also have government support with Make in India and Modi ji's initiative, to support young youths, because it is the youth who build the nation. So I feel it's the right time to venture into the startup right now.
Okay, that's really good. Now, would you tell us about the different activities which our college arranges to nurture the entrepreneurial background in our college?
Vidyanagar Institute of Technology has its own ED cell, where we encourage the students to be members of the ED cell, and we conduct various activities throughout the year. Some of the activities being workshops, then movie screening, then also there is one initiative where we give some funds to the students or a group of students, and we tell them you use any idea to generate or to multiply those funds. So that creates a background, like what means I can use. Of course, they should be ethical and right. So that if I'm giving an amount of 100 rupees at the start of the day, and how do I make it into, multiply it by certain factors. So the group which gets maximum returns is the one who wins that initiative. Apart from that, we have business plans, then other things that are required for a complete business to run. So some inputs on those aspects are given by industry experts also.
That's really good. Like good initiative has been taken by you to promote these activities. Now, could you tell us that how can we improve this entrepreneurial ecosystem in our college?
We are planning to set up an incubation center, and apart from that we are also contacting some funding agencies where we can get funds for the incubation center, so that students who have some ideas, those ideas can be nurtured.
Okay, so yeah, you have already started drawing students towards these activities by doing different activities like calling, by establishing the incubator and all.
Yeah, we are already started. The ED cell itself is promoting many such activities, and we are getting inputs from our students also. They are having business plans, and we are seeing how those plans can be executed.
That's a really good thing again. So, which events do you think should be conducted in our college to enhance this atmosphere before and more?
Workshops, movie screenings, and actual activities where you make them feel that they are the entrepreneurs or owner of that business, which will bring out those skills in them.
So, do you think that one should go with the small scale business and then go ahead, or he should directly approach a venture capital and then he should progress?
Your idea, whether big or small, does not matter. I feel if you have a concrete idea and you are confident about that idea, you first decide about that idea, and then how do we roll out? Whether do we have sufficient funds to do or roll out that idea? If we do not have, we should definitely talk to venture capitalists or other funding agencies who are ready to fund, because funds is the basics because of which the growth of any business is hindered. So I definitely feel.
Okay, and the last one. What are the things you think one should keep in mind before starting something, especially if it is in electronics or in technology, since it's engineering college? So, what are the things one should keep in mind?
First of all, I think we should look at the current trends that are all around us, and what is the need, or how are these electronic gadgets going to make a difference to a common man also, because whatever you use today, it's not affordable to everyone. If you look at a mobile phone, so mobile phone, if you see, the basic functionality is available in all the mobile phones, and it can be used by a person who is a common man, and it can also be used to those who are the rulers of the business. So when we look at a technology, we should see current trends, how the technology will impact the lower segments of the society. We should also see what are the government rules, policies, and the laws that need to be followed when we venture into this business.
Thank you, ma'am. You really motivated us regarding this, and you made a very good point regarding things like whatever a person is doing, that should be ethical. We should look for different opportunities. We should also study upon the impact. So it was really good talking to you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sanjay.